mix.
Just talk while you do it so we know what you're doing.
All right, well, first of all, the pots are too big. Not too big, they're fine for what I'm using them for, but when it comes to upending them, these are small compared to some of the other pots out there. And some of the other pots are terracotta, which means they weigh a ton. These are plastic at least. So you don't want, right, we've got growth coming up. You don't necessarily want to destroy it. Some of it's going to get damaged along the way. So when you're unpotting it, try to do it gently enough that it doesn't turn over on itself, because you'll break them all. So I kind of do until I feel it loose. It can loose. And then it's a matter of
Kind of dragging it away from it.
Yep. Now, here's a huge sprout.
Wow, look at that.
Now, I don't want all that dirt, so
I'm just going to get,
of course it's going to give me a hard time.
wow.
We'll see where we go with it. Get yourself an old saw. I'm probably not going to be able to save these on the outside.
Makes you sad though, right?
Well, I always feel wasteful when I do it, but I need to get
Right.
here. It's not going to work. I don't think. No, it's not going to work. Right? You only need about that much.
What would you say, like 6 inches?
6 inches.
You cut like that, like nothing in comparison to the other one.
Well, the roots aren't quite as dense.
Right.
You'll notice that we don't have the same.
Right,
One of those
right.
over, you would see a huge
Right.
lump of roots, and it's very, very tough. All right, and then because you want to cut it up, you want to get as much dirt off as possible. So I just dang it. That's not going to grow. There's not enough there. All right, it's coming apart here.
You're tired at the end of the day, huh?
These are all green, I can tell. So we'll set those up here to cut them further. I guess I should have brought the saw with me. Is that recording a date on there?
Yes.
Because if you come back in a month, they will be all leafed out.
Right, right.
Right, and then it's a matter of looking at what you have here, see where there's growth coming up. Some of it's obvious. Some of it's obvious, but there's some that's less obvious, like that little thing that's coming up there.
Right.
And this is going to be a sprout here. So when you're cutting it, you're going to lose some of the things, but I see a plant right in through here.
I actually can see that too.
And let's get the saw out again and just go to town on it.
I'm hoping that there's a way, my kids are more technical than me. I would like to be able to save this. You know, maybe I'll put it on a finger drive or something and take it down to the garden club and use it as a...
Well, you could. I don't know anything about that. I do know you can put things like that on Facebook and
Right,
sort it other
right.
things as well. Broken leaf here, but this will still continue to unfurl and it will send up more from the center. The dead, these will never come back, but rather than damage the plant any further, just leave them there. But I always try to open them up because you have rot starting to form down in there. So if you get air down in there, at least it's going to dry up.
Oh, okay.
And keep in mind that these will grow in water. You can just, no soil at all. So I don't know if I'm being overly concerned about the rot or not. Oh, one thing that I forgot to say to you, ordinarily as I'm cutting these, I would be dipping or rinsing in alcohol so that if there's any disease in here, I'm not transferring it from
You're
one
talking
plant
about
to
your saw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
problem is find alcohol today.
Right. I use 10% bleach.
I didn't even think of that. I've always had just alcohol on it.
Right, right.
And I went to college.
the 10% bleach, and I leave a little container of it in the kitchen under the sink so that my plants, my house plants, I just dip the scissor in it when I'm finished or before I start.
Well, I don't think there's any disease.
No,
The
no,
problem-
obviously
they
not.
look healthy.
Right.
The problem is if there is, you are quite literally transferring it from one plant to the next.
Right, right,
I've never had a problem, really. So,
right.
once again, I get all my pots lined up, and you kind of determine what size pot is going to be the best. This has this node sticking out here, so I guess that would work right there. Viable roots, so you just tuck it
Tuck
under
them in.
there. All right, when I do this, when I plant them, I use some crappy soil first. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that on your video. I've saved the soil from the asparagus plants.
And just shake it out.
All right, I put a little bit of this in the bottom rather than using all the expensive
Oh,
bag
okay,
stuff
good.
all of the time.
Good.
All right, and then I put fresh soil on top of it. All right, so you've got some soil in there.
And you're happy with the Miracle Grow soil? I see
yes.
you always use that.
Well, for a while, because it was less costly, I was using the Lowe's brand, which is Stay Green or
Right,
Ready
right.
Green or something like that. And it just got so crappy, I just didn't want to use it. At least this is consistent. The only problem with using any of these bagged things is they have a lot of peat in it, and peat bogs are in danger
Right.
because it takes them thousands of years to
Right,
develop. And
right.
people are using it like crazy. This is a little too close to the surface.
So you want to go down a little bit. Could you just go say again how deep?
To put this,
Yes, please.
well, just so that the surface of the old plant is a little bit below the surface of the soil you're going to be putting
Right.
in. I bring the soil up to about here, so you can see there's about an inch difference. on
Okay.
there. Let's finish one up. I'm even reluctant to use my disposable gloves anymore.
I know, to save them, right?
These are excellent plants for fish ponds because you can set the whole pond in the water. I'm sorry, the whole pot in
Right.
the water.
And you know, Vicki wanted to do that, and I told her I didn't think it was a good idea. I'm going to go home and tell her. She wanted to
Wait.
put them down by the lake, at the edge of the lake.
Well, they will be fine for the summer, but they are tropical and,
Right.
and they won't survive.
Well, she meant to
Consistent
put the
freezing.
pots in there and then just
Oh,
pull
then
them-
bring the
yeah,
pots
and
in.
Then bring the pots in.
As with any plant, if the roots don't feel pressure, they don't have any reason to grow. So you gotta get it really pounded in there. Although I did separate them by color in the fall, so I knew what I had. When I put them in the greenhouse, it doesn't matter where they go because once the leaves come out, you know what they are. This is a hybrid canna. It's called Tropicana. And the green ones are called Tropicana Gold. And these came after these. So. And you've had them in the past. They get large flowers on them. And that's one that's potted up. 39 to go.
Thank you.